Cynopsis in your ear.
Good morning, I'm Trish Pahanik for Cynopsis, making our way through the work week. It's Thursday, June 8th, 2006, and this is your first early morning briefing. Here is today's top story. Well, they say the best defense is a good offense, and that is the legal maneuver Cablevision has adopted with its ready-to-launch DVR service. Now, by now, you've heard Cablevision's plan to offer subscribers the ability to record programs for later viewing, but rather than have the hard drive in their homes, Cablevision will house the hard drive at the head end, recording and playing back on demand. Many major networks find this setup copyright infringing and have filed suit to stop the service before it begins. Cablevision has now filed a counterclaim against those same networks and studios including ABC, CBS, NBC, Paramount Pictures, 20th Century, Fox Film, and Disney Enterprises, asking the court to determine the Cablevision DVR service not to be subject to direct liability for infringing copyrights. Hey, guess what? If you had a promo or commercial in this daily podcast, it would go right about here. Coming up under Mortgage Stuff, MSNBC Prez Rick Kaplan resigns, CNN headline news weekend schedule revamped, tenfold increase in indecency fines, and E! Entertainment is looking for scripted series. And while I'm telling you about all this stuff today, take a look at these beautiful shots provided to us from the Internet Movie Archive. Changes at MSNBC. President Rick Kaplan has resigned, and overseeing for the time being will be NBC News Press Steve Kappas. Kaplan's contract was scheduled to expire in 8 months. While MSNBC is up in the adult 25 to 54 year-to-year in primetime, projects with Tucker Carlson and Rita Cosby, as well as Connected Coast to Coast with Ron Reagan and Monica Crowley, failed during Kaplan's then 2-year tenure. And changes afoot at CNN Headline News. The weekend primetime programming lineup will now look a lot more like its weeknight lineup. Prime News with Erica Hall will air on Saturday and Sunday at 6 o'clock and will include news highlights from the previous week. Now at 7 and 9 o'clock, reruns of Glenn Beck, reruns of Nancy Grace at 8 and 10, and highlights from Showbiz Tonight at 11. Well, it just got a lot more expensive to do anything, quote, indecent on television. Congress voted to go ahead with increasing tenfold the indecency fine from $32,500 to a whopping $325,000 per incident. What does the president think about signing such a bill into law? Quote, I believe that government has a responsibility to help strengthen families, unquote, said President Bush. The president also went on to say this legislation will make television and radio more family-friendly by allowing the FCC to impose stiffer fines on broadcasters who air obscene or indecent programming. We Women's Entertainment has a slate of new original series and one returning series debuting this month. 2 shows have already started. Supersize Surgery debuted June 6th, acquired from ID Distribution, where cameras follow a group of overweight people for whom surgery is the last resort. And I Do, Let's Eat from Beyond Entertainment, which premiered June 7th, about culturally diverse wedding receptions with an inside look at the spreads and the chefs. And returning this summer is Bridezilla's on June 11th from September Films, and the new acquisition produced by USA Today is called USA Today We Weight Loss Challenge, premiering June 12th, which focuses on 6 individuals as they sacrifice to achieve their weight loss goals. The progress will be followed on We and USAToday.com and in USA Today. TLC has commissioned a U.S. version of BBC's House of Tiny Terrorways to be renamed as House of Tiny Terrors. Now, the series, scheduled to air later in 2006, will feature the BBC's clinical psychologist Dr. Tanya Byron as she works with 3 American families brought to England to be observed and coached with 6 intensive days of parenting training and soul-searching. Now, in case you're worried for them, don't. They'll have American staples such as a coffee maker and groceries flown in. MTV's Karen Duffy will host the show, according to the UK's Digital Spy. E! Entertainment is reportedly looking for that just right series to delve the network into a whole new area, the scripted series, per Hollywood Reporter. Now, the network is looking for a comedy, though open to dramas as well, and the network hopes to have its first scripted comedy series on the air sometime next year. Ted Harbert, president and CEO of E!, is looking to introduce 1 or 2 new series each year. E! has also named Alex Maggioni as senior vice president of original programming and series development. Well, moving along this morning, here are the rating summary for Tuesday night according to live plus same-day ratings from Nielsen Media Research. Fox captured that lead on Tuesday night with a 3.09, adult 18 to 49. Now at 8 o'clock, the repeat of House on Fox took the first slot at a 2.69. Encores of CBS, NCIS, and NBC's Last Comic Standing tied for second at a 2.17 apiece. Now the new version of NBC's Last Comic Standing overcame the rest to win at 9 o'clock with a 4.011. Then in the 10 o'clock hour, CBS 48 Hours Mystery at a 2.57 nearly beat NBC's rerun of Law & Order SVU at a 2.47. And today's trivia question: who had the sleepwalking ailment caused by his dog jumping ship in the Tunnel of Love at Coney Island? Well, that wraps it up for today. Be sure to check your email for the full printed version of today's synopsis with some new executive moves, some more on ratings, a few new classified ads, a few other bits and pieces that didn't make it into today's podcast, and of course tonight's primetime broadcast lineup. For Cynthia Turner, who wrote and compiled Synopsis, I'm Trish Pahanik with the podcast version of Synopsis in your ear.